May 5, 2018. Now, for persons who purportedly registered in the party in September 2018 to now come to court to say that he bought forms, because you must first of all be a party member for you to buy form to contest that election. As at that time, they were not even party members by their own forms, by their own membership slip they exhibited in the application. And we are saying that you don't have even business with the judgment in BHC 78 2018.
The traditional institution Rumekini Community in Obiakpo Local Government Area, River State, has backed the operation of the Akpo Special Peace Advisory Committee. The paramount ruler of Rumekini Community, Eze Ali Baso Louis Amadi Wali, made the declaration when members of ASPAC visited the palace to officially announce their arrival in the community. The year where Ali Rumekini advised the local security outfit to be professional and never compromised in the security and peace of Rumekini people, especially in Akase area of the community. In his response, the commander of ASPAC in Rumekini, Victor Oaji, assured the paramount ruler and the entire Rumekini of ensuring sanity while calling on those who are still engaged in criminal activities to steer clear or embrace peace. Oaji also recounted how his team rescued a kidnapped victim simply identified as Okudili, who was abducted over the weekend.
He called us because of the crime, things that is happening in Rumekini, which we have been bringing sanity to Rumekini as is. And about 3 days ago, there was a robbery shooting up and down in Rumekini. They shot one boy, one Ogoni boy, and they kidnapped one man, which we intercepted them. The criminals were shooting at us, which we finally rescue the victim and bring him out, which the Nyewele of Rumekini was happy. He now said he have given us go ahead to make sure Rumekini is okay. Rumekini will stay in sanity. We'll thank us back in Omok.
Speaking in an interview with correspondent Uchende Ejiowo, the rescue kidnapped victim Okudili recounted his experience in the hands of the kidnappers.
It was on a Saturday night. I was coming back from work. I'm already at my place. So I wanted to open at Rumekini. There's a Akas Street. I saw a group of people with ammunition. I thought that it was a new security, that's OSPAC that they bring to the new place. I didn't know that it was a kidnappers. So they forced me to open the door, but I refused to open the door. So they carried me, tie my hand and my eyes and my mouth. They took me to an unknown destination. I was there till the following day, which is on Sunday, when OSPAC came now into the bush where they take me to and rescued me.
Meanwhile, residents of Rumekini community in Obiakpo Local Government Area of River State have blamed the high level of criminal activities, especially within Rumekini new layout, on land dispute between Rumekini and Alu communities. The former Chief Security Officer of Rumekini, Samuel Namta, who made the claim in reaction to the numerous attacks by hoodlums, said they are pleased with the introduction of Akpo Special Peace Advisory Committee to help tackle issue of insecurity in the area. Namta lamented how life was difficult for residents, especially the residents of Rumekini new layout, who he said were being attacked on a daily basis, leading to relocation of several crippling of economic and social activities, but expressed hope that local security outfits will restore calm in the area. Inamta, who is the chairman of Rumekini New Layout Association, called on those who fled the area because of the criminal activities to come back as peace has returned in the area.
We don't sleep here. We don't rest in this area at all because of criminal activity. A lot of robbers seize the advantage of the land dispute between Rumekini and Dalo, Omocholo. I thank God, by special grace of God, the Royal Highness of Rumekini and the Royal Highness of Omocholo bring out a peace committee working to end up a long-lasting land dispute between Rumekini and Omocholo, where it's been a loophole for the robbers to enter, start terrorizing people in the area that is not in dispute, robbing people. We can't keep all the landlords and investors in this area say enough is enough. We'll come up and form a Rumekini New Layout Landlord Association. By special grace of God today, the exercise of OSPAC screening going on by asking all the investors that has run away because of criminals activity in this area should come back, that we're on ground now with OSPAC, that the robbers can no longer defeat the OSPAC.
Our correspondent reports that some young people are currently undergoing ASPAC screening by leadership of Onelga's Advisory Committee in a bid to tackle the issue of insecurity in the area. Reports reaching our news desk says the Federal High Court sitting in Yenagoa by Bayelsa State has disqualified the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, David Lyon, ahead of the November 16 Saturday governorship election. The court ruled that the APC has no candidate for the Saturday governorship election in the state. You are listening to the World News at noon on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Stay tuned.
Pastor E.A. Adeboye visit Calabari land. Oh yes, join the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Region 5 family for an unforgettable experience in the presence of the Lord. Calabari Gospel Crusade 2019. Theme, God remembered. When God remembers his people, shame, reproach, and dishonor disappears. Limitations and barriers are removed, and the covenant of death and sorrows is put to an end. The people will sing a new song of victory. Don't miss this great encounter to be in the presence of the Lord, as there will be salvation, healing, the word, deliverance, miracles, signs and wonders, and lots more. Ministering in partnership with the Holy Spirit is Pastor E.A. Adeboye, General Overseer, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, worldwide. Date, Friday 15th November 2019. Time, 12 noon. The venue, NGS, Abonima, River State. Also, there will be combined service on Sunday, 17th November 2019 at Adokie Amiesimaka Stadium by 7 a.m. Plan to attend this life-changing crusade, Calabari Gospel Crusade 2019. Jesus is Lord.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
You're still listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Welcome back, and now to the rest of the news. The Department of State Services, DSS, has said it is ready to set Omoyole Sowore free. DSS also stated that operatives of the agency did not open fire on protesters but prevented those who wanted to forcefully break into the agency to release Sowore. Spoke to DSS Peter Afunaya in a statement said despite an unwarranted provocations, the service as a professional responsible organization did not shoot at protesters. Afunaya therefore maintained the appropriate persons have still not turned up to take delivery of Sowore. A Port Harcourt-based lawyer, Christian Njiguam, said that the Department of State Services, DSS, lacks the power to rewrite the law. Njiguam said this in reaction to the matter involving the convener of Revolution Now, Omoyole Sowore, whom the DSS refused to grant bail despite meeting the conditions. The lawyer therefore called on the representatives of Sowore and his co-defendant Olawale Bakare to commence committal proceedings against the DSS and its Director General.
He has a right to attend court. He has a right to move. DSS detaining him is infringing on his. DSS function is to prosecute, not to persecute. DSS lacks the power to rewrite the law or sit on appeal against the judgment of the court. The court is a court of justice. The court has the powers to commit anybody to prison who has obeyed or refused to obey its laws. So I think strongly that the committal proceeding should be carried out against the DSS that are refused to obey the unambiguous order of court.
Christian Njiguam also called on the Nigeria Bar Association, stakeholders, and Nigerians to fight for the independence of the judiciary from the stronghold of the executive. On the foreign scene, Zimbabwe's finance minister, Mtulu is expected to announce the country's annual budget in a few hours. It comes at a time the country is facing a huge deficit with predictions the economy could shrink by 7%. The economic crisis has seen hospitals virtually shut with health workers on strike over pay. Nearly half of the country's 16 million people face the threat of starvation in parts due to the worst drought in 4 decades. Expected to put in place measures to boost confidence in the new local currency, and some attempts will be made to end the long-running strikes. India's Supreme Court has agreed to review its landmark judgment allowing women of menstruating age to enter a controversial Hindu shrine. A 5-judge bench last year ruled that keeping women out of the Sabarimala shrine in the southern state of Kerala was discriminatory. The verdict led to a massive protest in the state. Women who tried to enter the shrine were either sent back or, in some cases, even assaulted. The move is likely to anger women who fought hard to win the right to enter the temple. Hinduism regards menstruating women as unclean and bans them from participating in religious rituals. To end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. Gunmen have shot 3 persons in a PDP campaign rally in Bayelsa State. River State House of Assembly has moved to change the name of Ignatius Surgery University of Education. On the foreign scene, India's Supreme Court has agreed to review its landmark judgment allowing women of menstruating age to enter a controversial Hindu shrine. That was the news as edited by Chinedu Uwuna. For comments and enquiries, please call 0815 341 8657 or 0814 434 3502 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Kala Dakurubatbo. Good afternoon and thanks for listening. Stay tuned.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues, today on